Okay, morning guys. Hope you guys are all doing well. So I thought I'll do something a little different today. You don't really see too many videos on social media explaining the basics on DB board wiring. So just a short rundown pretty much. We're still busy on one of these projects. Long story short, it's a double-story building that's been completely vandalized. So we need to basically put power from the ground up, and unfortunately we are pressurized on time. So I had to put a DB board inside this room, a 3-phase supply fed by a 16mm cable, ECC. It's giving us roughly 63 amps in this circuit. That's just going to be a T-point, this board. So from here, it's going to tee off to a compressor, and let me just show you roughly. But as you can see, it's still a mess. They still need to paint here and they still need to plaster, but unfortunately we had to put electrics in now already. You can see these lights are damaged, they must all be replaced. This old switch is going to be plastered closed. We've put a new switch on over here. But yeah, let me show you guys roughly. So in front here, there's still going to be a canopy that's going to come up for undercover parking lights, which we'll then steal from this board. We have ways to run our cable. And yeah, there's going to be a 3-phase car wash over here, so they're going to need 3-phase compressors. So there's going to be another sub DB that side. But just to show you guys more or less, and just so you can understand the bit of the wiring. So just give me a second, I'm just going to take off this cover. So this is how the board looks at the moment. Obviously it's not complete. I've just put in basic circuits just to explain to you. So I'm going to have a plug obviously right here, because this is a small room and we don't know what's coming in here. I'm just going to leave him a plug in case. The light switch we're going to put on the side as they come in. And yeah, to explain, like I said, so obviously guys, you need your shroud, steel gland, this is 16mm cable, your lock nut, obviously you need to have an earth tag over here, but unfortunately the suppliers we're using at the moment for some reason don't have stock. So what I will do, last case, once this project is complete, we need to go to every board and do our touch-ups. I'm just going to loosen the lock nut and then just wedge the earth tag in there when it does arrive, and then earth it. So I am aware of that. I always like to leave slack on the cables. It's not, you don't have to. Some guys just come straight in, but the reason is, you know, if something does burn or you want to move the breaker, it's nice to always have some slack on your boards. So I always leave a loop on my supply cable, nothing hectic. And then we've got another 3-phase breaker here, 40 amp, which is going to be feeding the next door DB board for the compressors and the wash bay. So obviously that will just come on your main supply. So your main breaker isolates your board. From the main breaker we can then feed our sub DB board breaker, which will then leave to our other board, in this case the wash bay. I've then put my lights before the earth leakage. It's your choice, honestly. You guys can put lights on earth leakage, it doesn't matter. So in this case, because we're going to have so many different lights here, and you know most of it's going to be outside, I've kept it off the leakage just for personal reasons. And yeah, just to show you, I've got a timer in here. Let me just open it up. So there's obviously no power on the board yet, but I've put in the timer. This will then feed the outside lights on your 10 amp breaker. Must be protected by a breaker. And obviously, you know, it depends on how many lights you guys have outside. So you need to work out obviously your load for your breaker. You can't have 200 lights on one timer if it's only rated on 10 amp. So yeah, second light breaker will then be for this room, and just for the outside lighting around here, the bathrooms, there's ablutions next door. We've then got our 3-phase earth leakage that we've fed with 16mm supply. From the bottom of our earth leakage, as you can see, it's always important to load balance on your 3-phase. So we've got red phase supplying 2 breakers, we've got white and we've got blue. These are 2 more demanding circuits, so they, you know, a phase for each, just to help on the load. And then in terms of your plug, so this goes the same as single phase. Your plug, obviously according to COC, everything's glanded, it needs to be on earth leakage. So if you look at our plug cable, it's pretty simple. you'll see there, let me just show you guys nicely. If you look at the red wire, it says there L. If you look there, it says earth, shows the earth symbol. And if you look there, it shows N for neutral. Okay, so with that being said, if you follow the cable on your board, you need a main neutral and you need an earth leakage neutral. In this case, from our supply cable, our main neutral feeds our main neutral bar, which then would feed the top of your earth leakage. Anything underneath the leakage is obviously now leakage protection, so even the neutral will be different. So that neutral we then fed to separate bars, in this case your earth leakage bar. So your plugs, your geysers and so on will be on your leakage, ceiling fans if you want, lights, so that will be on a separate neutral bar. You can't take it now to your main neutral, it's going to just end up tripping your earth leakage. So in that case, the N on our plug, the black one, will go into our neutral bar. You can see I've just coiled it up nicely there onto our earth leakage neutral. Our live wire obviously needs to go underneath the breaker that is protected by the leakage. So in this case, we've taken it under the 20 on the blue phase that is protected under earth leakage. You couldn't take this now and put it, for instance, before the leakage on one of these circuits. It will also trip your leakage. If you wanted your plug to be dedicated, meaning off the earth leakage, you could have a separate breaker, obviously then fed by your main neutral and live, and then leaving, but not protected by the leakage. So pretty much that's just how you wire your plug, obviously earth to your earth bar. And in this case, we've put now a switch on the DB, so it's been glanded. Make sure you can't just drill through and have your cable going through. It always needs a gland for protection. And you don't have to bring a live and a neutral into your switch. You don't have to bring a live and a neutral into your switch. I always just do it, just to make the next guy's life easier, so that there's already a neutral point here. So as you can see, we still need to put the light up, but pretty much from your light circuit, so in this case the 10 amp circuit, the live wire would come out to our switch. The top of our switch is the live. Obviously then you've got another point here, your load would then go to the light, but we still need to run that live wire from the switch to the light. But this is a supply that comes in, supply neutral. So all we'll do is now we'll run a cable from here to the light. We'll then steal off of this neutral, and then obviously the live to break on the switch. Very important, this is metal switch, metal plug. So we need to earth everything. So what I like to do, this is our supply twin and earth coming in onto the switch. I then simply take a piece of 1.5 insulated, and if you can see there, I actually lug it and screw it into the boxing so that it provides an earth throughout. I would need to do the same over here. From my supply, I'm still going to take a wire out and then screw it into the metal boxing so that that is earthed. Obviously then we still need to have all our circuits leaving, but it's just a basic template for now, so you guys can see what we're dealing with, and just hopefully so you guys can understand the basic wiring. So yeah, if there's any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments, and hopefully I can answer everything for you guys.